hate me, don't you?
Kons podcast.
You hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
Said he think the aliens come from the ocean. You know what I mean? We ain't never touched the moon. If you in the conspiracy and been into it, you know what I mean? You definitely have heard this before. It's like the first time that you heard about this. So this one is about the firmament. Do believe that it's a firmament how the rainbows, you know what I'm saying, create an arch. You feel me? And I thought this shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo. I thought this shit was a dope little theory. Check it out. Yeah, what's up? What's going on? What's happening? Thank you for that round of applause. It's episode 216 on this fine Friday. We done made it through the week. You know what I'm saying? We done made it through the week. Now you can relax. You know what I mean? Now you gotta go to work tomorrow. You gotta do shit tomorrow. It's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? You done made it all through the week. So now it's finally Friday. Friday's finally here. You know what I mean? So let's end your week off with Kons motherfucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, as you see, you know what I mean? I put the little notes in the camera for the little introduction. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be looking at TikToks today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be looking at conspiracy TikToks and shit like that. And we'll come up with some type of little title. You know, these little reaction videos be TikToks that shock the world or conspiracy TikToks that blew your mind. You know what I'm saying? Whatever title I'm going to come up with. Definitely something along the lines of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, how y'all doing though? You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing? It's episode 216, you know what I mean? Still windy and cold and shit out here. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be getting hot soon though, probably about a week or two. We got a little glimpse of it a couple days ago. It was like 83. So that's the highest it's been since the year started. But yeah, definitely gonna be looking at some TikToks today. You know what I'm saying? Some conspiracy shit. Know what I mean? For episode 216. You know what I'm saying? Let me set this shit up, get this shit ready. And look at some TikToks real quick for the one time. Yeah. So, conspiracy TikToks, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do this shit on Fridays, you know what I mean? We look at some TikToks and shit like that. It just really ain't shit going on in the news. You know what I mean? It ain't really too much happening in the news. It ain't too many headlines to where I can really commentate on and talk about. Thursday was kind of the last of the most interesting headlines that I've seen. When I looked at them today, you know what I'm saying? Just ain't really shit happening. You feel me? That's worth talking about as far as 4 different topics on this podcast. You feel me? Will Smith album dropped today. I'll probably be listening to that later on. A bunch of new music dropped today. I know Will Smith definitely dropped today. It's called Based on a True Story if you want to go check that out. So yeah, without further ado though, let's get into these TikToks, you know what I mean? Let's get into these TikToks. So this first one is going to be NLE Chopper. Look like he pushing through the airport, you know what I'm saying? And he just speaking on conspiracy shit, speaking on, you know what I mean, aliens, you know what I mean, speaking on space, whether we landed on the moon, just a bunch of different things, you know what I'm saying, in this short little clip. Check it out.
Never been to space.
Really?
Never been outside of this firmament.
That is an interesting conversation I would love to have. Yeah. Why do you think that's so? So you think we faked the moon landing?
Yes.
So you think?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
They say there wasn't no air in space. One of the moon landing clips, that damn flag was growing.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
And also too, it's a video. I saw this shit on TikTok. It was crazy. The same pictures they had on the NASA website was found in the coordinates of a desert in California, but they said it was quote-unquote Mars. You can look it up.
Right. So what do you think's up there? If it's a firmament and we can't leave, what do you think's up there?
I think it's water. I think it's water up there. As below is above.
That's you're basically referencing the Bible, right? So you believe there's a separation, like?
Yeah, because the Bible speaks a lot of code, a lot of fifth dimensional code. But yeah, as below is above. Tell me why when rockets, when they go up, they start to curve. They start to take the shape of if something was circular. Why do they curve? I was having an argument with my pops about it. He was like, because it's the GPS system. They go there. I'm like, no, bro.
So do you believe in extraterrestrial life? No, you do.
I do.
So where do they come from?
Under the water. And I also think Antarctica, a little bit behind Antarctica.
Interesting. So I did a poll yesterday. 40% of my viewers think that they faked the space capsule landing. 40% think that. That's a lot. That's a huge.
I mean, it's obvious, bro. It's obvious, bro. They faked a lot of shit.
So what's the?
You saw the shit with JFK?
Yes.
So I said that shit years ago. I slowed the video down and played it and saw that the man shot JFK. I saw that.
So what do you think happened with JFK?
He probably knew too much, like a lot of people know too much. But the only difference is he was a threat. He was a real threat. He was president.
So what are we supposed to do with this information for the next 20, 30 years? You're a young man. You're starting up. You have a hot career. Like, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to exist in a lie if this is allegedly true?
I think it's about finding the people that are just as conscious as you and keeping them close enough so when shit hit the fan, they'll be the same ones that
That was NLE Chopper pushing it through the airport, telling you about conspiracy shit, all kind of little conspiracy shit he's just diving into, spitting them out there at random. You feel me? Said he think the aliens come from the ocean. You know what I mean? We ain't never touched the moon. We ain't never been to space. All kind of shit he was saying. You know what I'm saying? This next one is talking about the Titanic and a bunch of hidden knowledge, and then he goes off into the Bible and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But he also says if the Bible was something that could help us, they wouldn't have gave that shit to us. You feel me? And I definitely believe that. You know what I mean? Check this next one out.
Y'all. People didn't know the Titanic sunk on purpose. They didn't know, and they monetized the shit. That's why I say it's so much hidden knowledge, and people caught flack when I said this, but a lot of people liked it when I said that if the regurgitated version of the Bible that they gave us today helped black people or any people get out of their current situation, they would have never introduced it to us, which is true.
Right.
Because the Vatican has so much fucking like books, all type of architect. They have real knowledge that a lot of people ain't even ready for, but they give us this.
Right.
Anytime your enemy gives you something, it's not for your use, bro.
They gave us shackles.
That's all it is.
Wow.
And that's, see, listen, the Bible, like I say, the Bible is what keep broke people from killing rich people.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? That's the glue. You see what I'm saying?
What?
It's a belief system, bro.
Everything's you know what I'm saying? That was him. Whoever dude is, you know what I mean, speaking on hidden knowledge and shit like that, and speaking on the Titanic and how they hid that and all that, you know what I'm saying, and going off into the Bible and shit like that, and speaking on government shit. This next one is from Jumpers Jump. You feel me? These are my two little homies. You know what I'm saying? I definitely watch their podcast. It's definitely some nerd shit. You know what I'm saying? These two niggas is definitely on some nerd shit. That's their vibe. But I definitely love the conversations they be having. You know what I'm saying? So this next one is a little clip from Jumpers Jump. You know what I mean? They talking about certain names that apparently you can't name your kids. You know what I'm saying? He mentioned names like you can't name them numbers 1, 2, and 3. Thor was in there. You know what I'm saying? Messiah. You know what I mean? But I think one of T.I.'s sons is actually named Messiah. So I don't know what's up with that. You feel me? But yeah, he's saying it's like jail time behind, you know what I mean, trying to name your kids these names. You feel me? So check this next clip out. Talking about names that's illegal to name your kids. Check it out.
Names in the world that you can't name your children? No, there's not. Who the fuck? And you can't name your child 1, 2, 3. Like you can't name the numbers. You can't name your child like number 1, number 2, number. No, listen, and I have a list. And I have a list. Look, these are the names that you cannot, like, if the government catches you, they get caught later and they put you in jail for naming your child something. Yeah, so I'm gonna list them down. Yeah, which is funny. So you can't name your child Messiah, Jesus Christ, the at symbol. Yeah. 3, 1069, Adolf. Why 1069? Why? Yo, take in. These are all names that people try to name their kids too. Adolf Hitler, Majesty, 007, Thor, James Bond. There's definitely Thors out there. No, there's gotta be Thors out there. They're probably in jail right now. Oh shit. And Batman. Batman. What the fuck? And you know, a parent tried naming their kid Burger King, and that also didn't get put through. It got canceled. Burger King, bro. Burger King. I'm gonna name my kid Spider-Man, bro. That's probably illegal too.
You know what I'm saying? That was him talking about the certain names, which is weird. You know what I mean? I don't really know anybody with numbers as names. You know what I'm saying? Or a Thor. I ain't never ran into nobody named Thor outside of the nigga in Marvel. You know what I'm saying? But he said that was on the list for illegal names. You feel me? That shit's different. I never heard that one, so I figured I'd throw that shit in there. This next one, it's Joe. It might be Joe Rogan, but a lot of these shits that be using Joe Rogan's voice, that shit be AI than a motherfucker. Joe Rogan really ain't never said some of the shit that you might come across on TikTok, and it sounds like Joe Rogan, but that shit is some type of AI tool where it sounds just like Joe Rogan, but a lot of it don't be Joe Rogan. It's to a point we don't even know no more if it's Joe Rogan or AI or not, because it sounds so much like it. You know what I'm saying? I think I got about two with that Joe Rogan shit. You know what I'm saying? Either it's him or it's AI, but I think it's AI. So this one, he talking about red shoes and the red symbolism in the industry and in Hollywood. How they also walk on the red carpet. Some motherfuckers would just have on red shoes with matching with nothing they got on. Or the ladies, you know what I'm saying? They'll have on like red heels with nothing else red. You feel me? So that shit is all symbolism is what this next TikTok is going to be telling you about. Check it out.
Society? What if I told you the world's most powerful people wear red shoes for a reason, and it's not about fashion? Leather shoes, sure, they're made from skin, but red shoes, that's something else, something rare. They say it's the softest leather imaginable, and the price, let's just say it's not measured in dollars. You've seen them billionaires, politicians, Hollywood elites wearing bold, almost out of place red shoes. Think it's just fashion? No, it's a mark, a symbol, something only the initiated understand. Same with the red carpet they walk on. And if this sounds crazy, remember Nike? They release sneakers infused with real organic liquid, a major brand pushing the concept into the mainstream. But it goes deeper. There's artwork paintings, tapestry showing people in red shoes against their will. Ever wonder why? Because red shoes don't just signify power, they tell a story. The elite flaunt it in plain sight. And that red carpet, the biggest names, the most powerful figures, all walking the same.
You know what I'm saying? That was Joe Rogan speaking on the red prophecy, you know what I mean? And the red conspiracy, red shoes, you know what I mean? The red carpet and shit like that. I thought this shit was interesting. I never really heard this theory. I might have before when I was deep diving back into conspiracy theories and Illuminati and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I might have definitely came across this before, just like the right now there's the black eye theory, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain celebrities coming out with these black eyes out of nowhere. A whole bunch of little different little trending little shit that these celebrities and industry weird motherfuckers be doing. You know what I'm saying? So that one was about the red shoes and the red symbolism. You know what I mean? This next one I thought was dope. It was a Ninja Turtle theory. You know what I'm saying? And it speaks on how it's more to what Splinter was given to them as far as they weapon. You know what I mean? He explained how Raphael's the hothead. You know what I'm saying? He wants to always fight, wants to always use his muscles and shit like that. So he gave him the weapons. They are size. You feel me? Those are defensive weapons. That's why they do not have such of a offensive notion to the way that they are designed. That shit is for defense only. You know what I mean? He speaks on Donatello, how he was the nigga with all the tech. You know what I'm saying? He got the tech mind, so we gave him a stick. He called it a staff. You feel me? Leonardo is the one who is the most wise. He's the most smartest one. He's the one that thinks on situations. You know what I mean? He doesn't just act on instinct. It goes through a brain process first. So this is why he is the only one that has two sharp blades, two katanas, which is designed definitely to sever limbs and kill. He has the most lethal weapons out of them all. And he's broke down Michelangelo, how he's a little scatterbrained, young-minded, you know what I'm saying? And you have to focus and be precise with the weapons he has, which are nunchucks. Otherwise, you could sling them shits and knock your own self out if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have focus. I don't know how many of you out there swung some nunchucks before, you feel me? But you definitely need focus and you need to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you are definitely going to fuck yourself up for sure. because them nunchucks, they come very hard. They usually in like oak wood or some type of hard wood to where that shit will break bones, you feel me? And it won't take that much of a swing. So yeah, I thought this shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo. I thought this shit was a dope theory. Check it out.
There is a Ninja Turtle theory that you might not know about. Every single weapon of the Ninja Turtles was given to them by Master Splinter to teach them a lesson about their own personalities. Raphael, right, he's the most hot-headed or he's the most violent, right, but what weapon does he have? He has the Sai. The Sai isn't bladed. They are meant only for defense. You can only use Sai for defense. Master Splinter gave the most hot-headed, most violent person the Sai, which is all defense, Michelangelo. Right. What does he use? The nunchucks. Michelangelo is the most, scatterbrained. He's always thinking about something random, right? The nunchucks were given to him as, you have to be precise and very accurate and very focused. If you don't focus on using the chucks, you're going to hit yourself. Donatello, who has the stick? He's the smartest and he's the most technological savvy, so he gave him a stick. Now Leonardo, he has the two swords, the two katanas. Leonardo is meant to be the most ethical, which is why he is the best leader. He's meant to have the most compassion for people, but he's the only Ninja Turtle that has a sharp-bladed weapon.
You know what I mean? I think that was the Joe Rogan AI once again. You know what I'm saying? But I think that theory is dope. It makes the most sense as to why they have the weapons they have, as far as their personalities and who they are in the world. I think that shit is a dope theory. I think it makes the perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? About the Ninja Turtles for sure. So this next one you about to see is about, you know what I mean? You in these containers, you know what I'm saying? He called it HT, you feel me? Which is weird because that's my click name, you know what I'm saying? Definitely for a hood thing. We not on no trafficking shit, you feel me? But yeah, he called it HT because I mean, I guess you ain't supposed to say, you know what I mean, the full word on here, you know what I mean? Because this is considered trigger words, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this one is definitely talking about that, you know what I mean? Talking about the Homo sapien being smuggled off in containers, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying the words with the acronym of H and a T, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is talking about the containers and shit like that. I done heard about this shit a while ago, but check this shit out though.
We got to talk about this ASAP, immediately, pronto, right now. Behind me is the Port of Vancouver. So recently, from people who work at the Port of Vancouver to people who live in the area, have all reported or been recently reporting that they have been hearing screams, banging, and everything imaginable coming from these containers there at the port. And I'm sure by now we've all seen a video of the lady around the Port of Vancouver screaming, saying that she knows people are being held captive within these containers. Now this all makes sense when it comes to the lack of urgency that we have as a country when it comes to missing children, missing women, and people missing in general. And it's because they are part of it. They the ringleaders of the HT. It's crazy. And you want to know the saddest thing about it? It's worldwide. So it's nothing we could do about it unless we as people stop it by force. Let's put it into perspective for the people who may not understand. Here behind me is a cargo port. Alright, so I know behind me we see the containers, right? Within each container can minimum fit up to 500 to 1,000 people. So when you truly think about it and place logic behind it, it's sickening. And to think about it, the Port of Vancouver is the largest in Canada and the 4th largest in the North American continent, but ranked 60th in size throughout the world. Now, if you want to add more to it, they always tell us the truth in movies in which direction they're going with the blueprint. I don't know if y'all seen this movie, but if not, you need to, and this video will make 100% more sense. The name of the movie behind me is called Nowhere, where a militia group, maybe part of the government, was stuffing grown-ups, men, women, children into containers and shipping them off into islands. They wanted us to focus on her and being pregnant with the baby stuck in the container, but I got a different grab from that. And of course, on the internet, there's no clear depiction or picture of them showing this scene. Now go ahead, watch this movie, and then think to yourself, how many more countries, how many more ports could be just allowing this type of activity to happen? But one thing you will know is that HT is 100% deeply rooted within the world. Not even just the US or Canada, the world. Now before I go, I'm going to show y'all 2 videos, one from 1982 of them using these containers in horrific ways, and then the same type of video from 2025, just now this year at the Port of Vancouver. Then y'all let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments.
I saw it myself, I couldn't believe it. And it's just just little bitty babies, just all quarter pieces. Their heads chopped off, arms, legs, just...
Hundreds of human fetuses, some possibly in the 6th month of development, were found stacked in a large shipping container picked up behind the home of a medical laboratory owner. The fetuses were discovered Thursday night after the owner of the 20-foot by 8-foot storage container repossessed it from Mel Weisberg because he failed to make a $1,700 payment. The company picked it up and brought it back. They noticed it was quite heavy. While unloading, a box had dropped and a fetus was discovered.
One of them fell down and hit me right in front of my feet. And...
Fuck that sport! There's people staying there every night! I've heard it for myself! The city's trying to cover it up, trying to get everybody out of here because they know there's people in those fucking bins!
You know what I'm saying? I was talking about the whole little theory and conspiracy surrounding the containers and shit like that to be on these ports. People said that they didn't heard people crying and, and so forth. It's like dude said it there telling the story about how he was working at one of them, and fetuses and shit was in them and shit like that. One came out, fell on his foot, he said. So I don't know, that shit is wild. But it make perfect sense. It's the perfect cover-up. If they're gonna be smuggling some shit, them containers is the perfect job and the perfect place to do so. You know what I'm saying? So this next one, I don't know if y'all heard recently, but recently they found a whole underground city underneath the pyramids in Gaza. In Giza, however you say that shit, the 3 pyramids that we all know out there in motherfucking Africa, apparently there's a whole hidden city under there, using some type of radar technology that they were using. Apparently there's pillars that go far deep into the earth underground connected to each pyramid, and they have these coils around them and they're attached to these, at the base of them is these square bases, that they don't know yet. You feel me? Because like I said, they just seen the shit on radar. They haven't physically went underground and seen it yet. You feel me? But this is something they just discovered, I believe, March 16th. So about 12 days ago. They had just made this discovery. Check this shit out.
So apparently, through the use of LiDAR, they have discovered that there are enormous structures underneath the Great Pyramid that go kilometers deep into the earth with coils.
The greatest archaeological mystery of all time may have finally been solved, and according to tech billionaire Elon Musk, the implications are deeply concerning for humanity's understanding of our past and future. For centuries, the pyramids of Giza have stood as monuments to human ingenuity and ancient Egyptian civilization, but recent groundbreaking discoveries using advanced radar tomography have revealed something that changes everything we thought we knew about these structures. On March 16th, researchers announced findings from synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography that penetrated deep beneath the Giza plateau. What they discovered has sent shockwaves through the scientific community and caught the attention of the world's most prominent tech visionary. The Great Pyramid isn't merely sitting on the surface as we've always believed. Massive structures extend down from its base into the bedrock to a depth of 648 meters, over 2,100 feet underground. 8 cylindrical wells arranged in parallel rows, containing intricate spiral pathways resembling enormous staircases, descend into the darkness. At the bottom of these wells lie 2 enormous cubic structures, each measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. Even more astonishing, this entire network connects beneath the whole Giza plateau, reaching depths of nearly 2 kilometers, over a mile beneath the surface. When asked about these findings on social media, Elon Musk responded with characteristic directness. The evidence suggests these aren't tombs, they're machines. Ancient technology beyond what conventional history acknowledges. And that's concerning. Musk later elaborated in a podcast appearance. We're talking about engineering that would challenge our most advanced capabilities today. Structures extending 2 kilometers underground with precision spiral pathways. This isn't primitive technology. It's not even modern technology. It's something else entirely. For years, alternative researchers like Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson have proposed that the pyramids served functional purposes beyond burial monuments. Scientific tests have demonstrated that the Great Pyramid can concentrate electromagnetic energy within its chambers and beneath its base, when stimulated with specific frequencies. Acoustic engineers have determined that certain chambers within the pyramid naturally resonate at 440 Hz. The design of relieving chambers above the king's chamber
with granite beams precisely tuned to vibrate at specific frequencies, suggests acoustic engineering far beyond what should have been possible for the dynastic Egyptians. Studies conducted in 2018 confirmed that the pyramid's structure can focus electromagnetic energy, particularly when exposed to radio waves with wavelengths between 200 to 600 meters. A 2019 paper by Eric Wilson described how vibrated granite can generate electrical current as electrons migrate through the stone to its surface. Musk's interest in these discoveries isn't casual. As the founder of revolutionary energy companies and an advocate for understanding fundamental physics, he recognizes the implications of such advanced engineering appearing thousands of years before it should be possible. What we're potentially looking at, Musk noted, is an ancient civilization that understood principles of energy generation and transmission that we're only beginning to grasp. The entire complex resembles a sophisticated machine for harnessing Earth's natural electromagnetic field and converting it into usable energy. The geometric precision of the Great Pyramid has always defied conventional explanation. Its alignment to true north is accurate to within a fraction of a degree. The ratio of its perimeter to height...
You know what I mean? I was talking about the hidden city that they had recently found under the pyramids. You know what I mean? I had recently heard about that and thought it was something dope, you feel me? But if you in the conspiracy and been into it, you know what I mean? You definitely have heard this before. This ain't the first time that you're hearing about this shit, you know what I'm saying? But recently they had just made the discovery of such, and now it is now public knowledge. It is no longer a conspiracy theory. It's no longer a theory. This is something that they have proved with this type of radar technology that they're using, and was able to see all of these amazing different type of structures underground underneath the pyramid. This next one is talking about the firmament. Now, if y'all know what the firmament is, the firmament is something what some people believe that we are under a dome. You know what I'm saying? That we are all under some type of non-visual type of dome structure. You know what I'm saying? This is what a lot of people seem to believe. This is another conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Once again, this is for entertainment purposes only. You feel me? But yeah, so this one is about the firmament. This dude believes that it's a firmament, how the rainbows, you know what I'm saying, create an arch. You feel me? And he shows you how the rainbows are being created in his house with the reflection coming from certain pieces, edges of the glass that he has on his sliding doors going out to his backyard. You know what I mean? He shows you this is coming from that, this is coming from that. And he goes into relation on the rainbow that we all know and see today and ties that to a firmament that he believes that we are under him in this TikTok video. Check it out.
Explain this to me. You see these two rainbows here, all right, which are coming from the reflection of this corner and this corner of the glass. Just like this one is here as well, coming from that corner, as well as this one coming from that corner. So when we see a rainbow outside in the sky, shaped like this, where is that coming from? The only explanation would be if we were to have some form of rounded glass structure above us. If you've never heard of the firmament, look up the firmament and research and educate yourself. I'm not saying the earth is flat, but it's not a globe.
So you know that was him talking about the firmament. You know what I mean? You see, he gave you the examples of pointing to where the light was coming from, creating the rainbow off the edges of the glass that was in his house, and tied that to how we see the angle curve, you know what I'm saying, at the top when you see a rainbow, you feel me? So he's basing that on the reflection of a firmament. So this is the last one up next, you know what I'm saying? This last one is talking about how, you feel me, the moon landing and how we never went there and shit like that, you feel me? So y'all know how this goes on this podcast, you know what I'm saying? We usually watch this last one together, you feel me? Usually I try to find like a long one, 5 minute one, 6, 7, 8 minute one, you know what I mean? And just watch the last one together type shit, but this one is only 2 minutes, feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? If you got your drink or something you want to sip on while you watch this, while we sit and watch this, go ahead and pour that up, you know what I mean? You got something rolled up, go ahead and get your lighter and light that up, you feel me? For these next little 2 minutes real quick, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go watch this next one together, let me load it up. All right, let's check it out.
Well, my name is Gene Gilmore. My birth given name is Eugene Reuben Akers. I don't want any money for what I'm doing because hopefully this video won't come out until after my death. So I have nothing to gain, nothing to profit by telling you what I'm going to tell you. Okay, anyway, this is the story that my dad told me on his deathbed. Project Slam Dunk was the name of this. President Johnson in 1968, okay? In Cannon Air Force Base in 1968, he said by the time he got there, that there was already 2 large hangars that were connected. There was hundreds of dump trucks that came in and dumped sand and stone, and cement powder was powdered over the top of all that to make it look like a lunar landscape. They had men that fashioned it into a lunar landscape, he said.
Creating it.
He said that in front of the airplane hangars was full framing with large canvas tents that was concealing the inside of the staging area. Inside the staging area, on flatbed trucks, was uncrated the lunar lander that was reassembled back inside the hangars. All of the walls were painted flat black, and the ceilings as well. He was sworn to secrecy by the NSA, and they would put him in prison for breaking that oath. When Dad saw the moon landing on TV, he cried. He said he knew that what he had witnessed on TV was exactly what they recorded in that hangar.
So as you see, you know what I'm saying, he pretty much describing to you that the shit is all fake. You know what I'm saying? They built that shit. They put the sand down. He said it was trucks coming in, dumping off the type of sand, and they put whatever they put on it to make it look like, you know what I mean, however it looks like on the moon. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he said he seen his dad come and watch and it broke down because they made that whole scene inside of the lab. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit don't surprise me though. You know what I mean? Do I personally feel like we been to the moon? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I think that shit is definitely fabricated for sure. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that we've been up there. You know what I mean? I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening. The same thing with these astronauts. You know what I'm saying? Now these motherfuckers went up to space and supposedly got caught up there, that they want us to believe that they just was stuck up there in motherfucking space for 8 months. 8 months. 8 months. You feel me? That's almost a whole duration of a pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? 8 whole months. You feel me? They're supposed to be stuck in space. Now, Christmas came around, and these motherfuckers had Christmas hats on and Christmas shit all in this little, wherever they was supposed to be at, in the little capsule, wherever they was supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you went out there in, I think it was July, and you didn't plan to be out there for 8 months until goddamn Christmas came along, why the fuck did y'all have motherfucking Christmas hats? You wouldn't have packed that up in July if you didn't know that you was gonna be stuck until past Christmas. Now they recently, you know what I'm saying, they put out there that they just had brought them home. You know what I mean? They never told us why. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck was y'all stuck out there? You feel me? And how y'all get these Christmas hats and shit like that? And they was opening up presents and shit that motherfuckers sent to them. Now if you sending presents and shit, supposedly you sending them out there, why the fuck they couldn't hitch a ride on whatever the fuck sent the presents out there? You feel me? Y'all was out there stuck for 8 months, and y'all want us as a people to just ride along and believe that shit. I don't believe it. I think y'all was in a studio somewhere. I think y'all was definitely making it look like y'all was in space somewhere. But in reality, I don't see and feel that y'all was just stuck out in space for 8 months. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Then when they come back, they talking about how they look so stressed out and they done gained gray hair and all this. Man, you can do all that shit with makeup, cosmetics and shit like that. Movie people do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Movie will make somebody that's 12 look like they fucking 35, or the opposite. They can make somebody 35 look like they motherfucking 12. So with that being said, you know what I mean? I can't believe that, look older and they got gray hair and he got a beard now. Like, man, I'm not buying none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't buying none of it. You know what I mean? I think they definitely lying to us for sure. I don't think they was caught up in no motherfucking space for that long at all. I think they was in a lab somewhere or something. You know what I mean? Living it up or some shit, you know what I'm saying? And putting them little videos out, going to the little, whatever they shot them videos at, they was going to that, shoot the little video for 10, 20 minutes or whatever the fuck it may be, edit it up and put it out. And then they go back to their respected whatever lives, whatever they was doing type shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they was up here stuffing no goddamn 8 months. Get that shit up out of here. But yeah, that wraps up episode 216. You know what I'm saying? The episode that wraps up episode 216. Yeah, I mean, we looked at these conspiracy TikToks today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, ain't no really, you know, I usually go over the conclusion. Today we did this, did that. You know what I mean? We looked at TikTok. That's the conclusion and the wrap up to episode 16. You feel me? We looked at conspiracy TikToks that shocked the world. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I mean? That's all I got today on this fine Friday. You know what I'm saying? Hope you enjoyed watching these conspiracy TikToks with me. You know what I'm saying? On Friday, March the 28th, it's 2:33 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So, salute. You feel me? Like you see my nigga scrolling up the screen for coming in and watching these TikToks. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? Tell somebody about it. You know what I mean? Tell your friends about it and shit like that. You know what I mean? Definitely hit the share button. Put this on your social media pages, on your Facebook pages, Instagram, Snapchat, Messenger chats, all that shit. You know what I mean? Definitely share this content. You feel me? But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came and ended your week off on Friday with Kons motherfucking podcast, and I hope you come back on Monday and start your week off with Kons podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because as a free person, when you seen this shit pop up on your phone, whether you was looking at this shit on the phone when you was taking a shit, whether you was looking at this shit on your phone when you sitting in your living room, you seen it on your TV, wherever you seen it at, whoever you may be, whether you was a son, brother, you know what I'm saying? Whether you was a daughter, whether you was a girlfriend, a motherfucking boyfriend, a wife, a husband, you know what I'm saying, an uncle, an auntie, whoever you may be, you know what I'm saying? And if you got pets and they sit there with you and y'all all watch Kons podcast, whether your pet is a pet rat, whether you got a pet goat, a pet cat, a dog, you know what I'm saying, whether you got a pet pig, whoever the fuck your animal is, if y'all got eyes on Kons podcast, I fuck with you. You feel me? Like you see my nigga scrolling up the screen, the emoji homie, you know what I'm saying? You see him scrolling up, giving you that salute. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You heard that beat getting louder and louder in the background. You already know what it is. You know what I mean? This has been episode 216. Conspiracy TikTok on this fine Friday. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't forget to share this shit. Enjoy the credits.
hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? You hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you? You 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 hate me, don't you? don't you?